This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good night, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for September 1, 2023. And in the news tonight, man charged after allegedly stabbing man with ice pick. Detectives in the Kingston West Division arrested and charged a 31-year-old man with wounding with intent after he allegedly used an ice pick to stab another man on August 24. He is Demar Hibbert of Anota Bay, St. Mary. Reports are that about 4:50 p.m., Hibbert had a dispute with a man when he allegedly used an ice pick to stab him. The injured man raised an alarm and the police were summoned. The man was taken to the hospital by residents for treatment, and Hibbert was subsequently taken into custody and charged. His court date is being finalized. Suspect held following robbery at a restaurant in St. Elizabeth. Quick response by the St. Elizabeth police on Friday afternoon resulted in the apprehension of a suspect and the seizure of a motorcycle following a robbery at a restaurant at Holland Bamboo Avenue in the parish. It was reported that about 12:45 p.m., two men traveling on a motorcycle went to the restaurant where they held up the operator and robbed the establishment of an undisclosed sum of cash. The police were alerted and the search launched, which led to the recovery of the motorcycle in bushes about 30 minutes after the robbery. A further search led to the arrest of a man suspected to be involved in the robbery. Deputy Superintendent of Police Coleridge Minto, head of the St. Elizabeth Police Division, praised the quick response of the cops. He also commended the residents of the area who assisted the police in their investigation and the apprehension of the suspect. The police continued their search for the other suspect. Alleged crack cocaine peddler charged. A man accused of being a major peddler of crack cocaine in Runaway Bay, St. Anne, was arrested and charged Thursday during an operation by the narcotics police. The cops say they raided a house in Toptown, Runaway Bay, and seized more than 50 pieces of crack cocaine. 30-year-old Kristen Rosedom, who was found in possession of about 30 pieces of crack cocaine, valued at more than $17,000, was charged for breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act. He is scheduled to appear in the St. Anne Parish Court on November 2, 2023. 7 packs of uncustomed cigarettes were also found inside the house. This was disclosed by Superintendent Dwight Daly, head of the Narcotics Division.
So yesterday, the Narcotics Police carried out a series of operations in Toptown, Runaway Bay, St. Anne, where they arrested 3 persons. But of note, we took into custody one Kristen Rosedom, 30 years old, unemployed, and arrested and charged him for breach of the Dangerous Drugs Act. About 30 pieces of crack cocaine was found in his possession. This has a street value of over $70,000. He is scheduled to appear in the St. Anne Parish Court on November 2, 2023.
Man shot in police shootout in Spanish Town. A man was injured in a police shootout in an area called Africa in March Road, Spanish Town, St. Catherine today. The police indicated that they seized a Springfield Smith & Wesson handgun loaded with a magazine containing 2 rounds. The injured man, who is in hospital, was taken into custody on suspicion of possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and shooting with intent. It is reported that about 6 a.m., acting on intelligence, members of a police party went into the area. Upon entering a lane, a man allegedly armed with a gun was observed. He reportedly ran and was pursued inside a house by the police, during which a shootout reportedly ensued. When the gunfight subsided, it was revealed that the man suffered gunshot injuries. A firearm was seized and the man was taken to the hospital. The Independent Commission of Investigations has launched a probe into the matter. St. James police nab a suspect behind the killing of 5 homeless people. Detectives in St. James say they have arrested a suspect in connection with the killing of 5 homeless people between June and August 2023. Officers say the arrest was made on Thursday after investigators used the forensic evidence and the technological prowess to make links in the case. Police Chief Major General Anthony Anderson made the revelation during an interview with the Jamaica Constabulary Forces Corporate Communications Unit. Due to good police work on the part of the St. James Police, we now have the perpetrator in custody. He is still being questioned and will be charged soon, Anderson said, adding that the JCF has been making several breakthroughs in recent times, even in the most complex cases. The suspect, whose name is being withheld until he is charged, killed all his victims by stabbing them. More information will follow as soon as it becomes available. PNP wants a full cost of SSL fraud probe to taxpayers disclosed. The opposition People's National Party is calling for the government and specifically Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark to indicate the full cost to taxpayers of the investigations into the massive fraud at the Stocks and Securities Limited, with news emerging that the government has taken responsibility for paying the staff and administrative costs at SSL. Opposition spokesman on finance, Julian Robinson, has questioned what other costs are being borne by the government as the investigation continues. In addition to the staff's salary cost, what is the cost of retaining the receiver manager and his team, and what is the cost of the international forensic firm Kroll Associates, and is the government covering these costs? Given that SSL is insolvent and it is unlikely that the government will recover these costs, Mr. Robinson argued that the public has a right to know since taxpayers are footing the bill. He also wants the finance minister to provide a timeline of how long he expects the government to continue covering the cost associated with the investigation and respond to whether there is provision in the current budget for the undertaking. St. Thomas man charged for assault following altercation with a cop. A 48-year-old man from St. Thomas was charged after an alleged altercation between him and a policeman during an operation on Tuesday, August 29. He is Junior Edwards of Trinityville. He is charged with assault occasioning grievous bodily harm, resisting arrest, possession of a prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition. Reports from the Morantebe police are that about 6:30 p.m. an operation was conducted at Edwards' home, during which a tussle allegedly ensued between him and the cop. One Glock pistol fitted with a magazine containing 17 9mm rounds of ammunition was seized. Both Edwards and the policeman were taken to the hospital where they were treated. Edwards was subsequently charged. A court date for him is being finalized. Westmoreland man who tried to hide identity info inside a toilet arrested. A 36-year-old man was arrested on Wednesday after he allegedly tried to hide a cellular phone containing the identities of persons living overseas inside a toilet tank in his home. Charged with the possession of identity information is Curtis Clark of Rocky Hole District in Burnt Savannah, Westmoreland. Reports from the Westmoreland police are that at about 5:30 p.m., a team conducted an operation at the Clark's house. According to the police, Clark was seen trying to conceal a cellular phone inside a toilet tank, but the phone was retrieved and an analysis conducted. The phone was said to have contained identity information of persons living overseas. Clark was subsequently arrested and charged. His court date is being arranged. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.